Hey, buddy.
Hey, man.
Welcome to Bacon and Eggnog, the Christmas special tradition episode.
Yeah,
How you
this
doing?
is our Christmas day. Merry Christmas, everybody. It's December 25th. December 25th is a Monday, so happy Monday, happy Christmas.
Wait, this is coming out on Monday?
Yeah, on Christmas.
Monday brunch.
Like,
that's what they always say, right?
Like a Christmas Day special. It is coming out on Christmas Day. I saw this podcast come sailing in on Christmas Day in the morning. It'll be like a present for everybody who checks their podcast app Christmas morning.
It will be like a present, especially if you don't get a lot of presents on Christmas. Merry Christmas
from Bacon and Eggs.
From Bacon and Eggs.
Happy Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. Hope that your holidays have been fantastic so far and that you got a nice long break. I, as of right now, do not have a nice long break. I have to work tomorrow.
So do I.
Yeah. But I don't live in the city that I'm vacationing to for Christmas, so I have to work like 4 hours away from Christmas.
Oh,
so,
you mean Christmas Day you have to work tomorrow?
Yeah, no, I have to work December 26th.
As do I.
Yeah.
But I thought you were talking about tomorrow when we're recording
So
this.
yeah, currently I'm faced with the choice between driving at like 5 a.m. or like missing Christmas dinner.
You can do Christmas just like Thanksgiving dinner and do it like 3 p.m.
I mean, I don't make these choices. This is not up to me.
Well.
These decisions are made over my head by the Huddleston Family Party Planning Committee.
Is there a whole committee for that?
No, it's my grandmother who decides when things happen.
Gotcha.
Yep, it is up to her entirely. And normally we eat Thanksgiving dinner at like 2 p.m. So I don't know what's up. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, I'll say this. As we record this, I'm a bachelor.
By the time this comes out, Ty will only not be a bachelor, but he will be done with his honeymoon.
The death of a bachelor will have occurred.
It will have occurred. Ty will be done with his honeymoon. He'll be back from Mexico, golden brown, and ready to roll.
Ethan, I have a question.
Okay, hit me with one.
This is about golden brown more than anything else.
Okay.
So last week I got a spray tan.
Okay.
As a trial to see if I should get one for the wedding, and I was completely satisfied. It came out very good.
Fair enough.
But I'm getting my beard professionally trimmed, and it's trimmed down from a beard to a goatee the day of the wedding, and that would occur after when I would re-get my spray tan.
Ooh.
Do I get the spray tan and risk there being a patch?
I feel like there's gonna be a patch.
Because my hair right now is pretty thick because I wanted them to have something to work with.
Right, like your beard hair?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, what you could do is just, I don't know. Do like
if I trim it myself?
Like a rough cut? Just like a shave it off where you think they're gonna shave it?
But that's the thing, is I've never had this professionally done before.
That's a toughie. I don't know the answer to that question.
The only other potential solution is right after. It takes the spray tan 4 hours to set. So right after I get my beard shaved, I could go get it done and still be tan before the wedding.
That sounds like a horrible idea.
But it could also go badly.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like a lot of things left up to chance. If I were you, I would skip the spray tan.
But I am a very pale person.
Okay, and you're a very pale person year round, regardless of whether or not you're tan in the sun. Like, it's gonna look like a fake tan because it's a December. But it's a December wedding. Like, you're gonna look at these pictures the rest of your life and be like, "Why was I tan before the honeymoon in Mexico?"
I will know why I was tan.
But you never tan is the thing. Like, you don't get tan.
It's true. I burn, and then by the time I leave, the burn just goes away, and I'm pale again.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, that's a decision that you have to make with you and your bride to be. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about Christmas, right? So
we are talking about Christmas.
Let's kind of bring it back on brand here for a second. What is Christmas like in the Carlin household these days? I know what Christmas used to be like.
This is actually, so because my parents are grandparents for the first time, and because Emily and I are having Christmas together, not for the first time, but for the first time as a married couple, it is a brand new tradition.
So you guys are not going to New York?
Not at all.
Okay.
So what we're doing is...
Are like Grandpa Jack and all them coming down?
For my wedding.
I guess John's Grandpa Jack now.
Well, no, he's Grandpa John.
I mean, he could be Grandpa Jack.
And Grandpa Jack is no longer Grandpa Jack. They are G&G, and to the ones that still call him by a name, it's Babu.
Babu, okay.
Babu Jack.
Babu Jack.
Yeah.
I guess he's a great Grandpa Jack now.
Great Grandpa Jack. Great Grandpa Jack to little Luke.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way.
You are an uncle now.
I am an uncle. Like a week before I was going to be an uncle, which is cool. And an uncle to a totally different human being.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
That's wild. You have like a t-shirt or like a mug or like a mouse pad, maybe like a keychain that says world's greatest uncle yet?
I do not, but here's what's going to happen next week last week or a few days ago.
Here's what has already happened. We're guessing.
when Ben is on the show is Ben is going to talk about how he is fun Uncle Ben. And I won't lie to you, it's a tough competition. Well, okay, Ben has a camper.
Yeah, you're going to run into that problem, because Ben has like a camper and he's like Mr. Outdoorsy, and he also doesn't have an average day job.
Right. So he works with
Dad.
Papa John, right?
Yes, so, and he can just go, obviously he has to work, he does a lot of work, but he can kind of move that work around, and like if something needs to happen with Luke, he can just be like, hey Luke, what's going on? I'm Uncle Ben, what's up?
I'm fun Uncle
Please
Ben.
don't shoot me.
But here's the problem is I am fun Uncle Tyler, and Ben is not fun, and that's just how it is.
Oh wow, Ben's not fun. Okay. Shots fired retroactively.
Not fun. Let me tell you something about. Okay, so Luke's father, Darth Vader,
John,
not the best guy.
Juanathon.
What Luke's uncle, Owen, or we'll just say Luke's uncle, killed in A New Hope.
Yeah.
Luke's teacher, Ben, killed in A New Hope. So,
really, but like Owen Lars gets a lot less play than Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ben Kenobi.
Yeah, like, but he gets a role in all 3 of the prequels, and Owen Lars is in, I think Rogue One for like 30 seconds.
Owen Lars is in 2 of the prequels.
Not Phantom Menace.
He's in Attack of the Clones and in.
Is he in Attack of the Clones?
We will find out for sure when we do Star Wars.
I can't remember that. Wow.
But I'm fairly certain he is, because that's when Anakin goes and kills all the Tusken Raiders.
I thought that was in the 3rd one. No, I know the scene you're talking about. That was just his mom, right? It was just, He goes and he says, "Where's my mom?" And Owen Lars has like already remarried because she's been taken. Oh, okay. So anyway, Star Wars metaphors, references, things aside, so you're gonna be less fun Uncle Tyler is what I'm hearing.
I'm more fun Uncle Tyler.
Yeah, according to you.
Have you ever seen Spider-Man?
I have.
What happens to Uncle Ben?
I literally just made a joke about this that you missed.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
You said don't say anything about it
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to make the joke. Anyway,
yeah. Oh, I wanted to make the joke. Okay, Mr. Fancy Gills over here.
The question you asked was, what is Christmas going to look like for the Carlin?
Yeah.
So traditionally we
tell us about the past Carlin Christmas-y.
We would go and visit my grandparents on each side for like the 3 or 4 days leading up to Christmas. So Christmas Day would happen at the Carlin house, like my mother and father's house, on like December 22nd, where we'd open presents and we would have bacon and eggs and all that good stuff.
And I would get texts like 4 days early, like, "Hey, look at all the cool stuff I got for Christmas." I'm staring at my presents under the tree, like, which I mean, again, we're in our 20s now. It's not a big deal anymore. But when I was 14, I was like, "Man, Tyler sucks, Mom. Why can't I open presents on the 22nd?"
And then we would travel to Poughkeepsie, New York, where my mom's parents live, and we would do a Christmas party at my Aunt Tina's house. And on Christmas Eve, that was the name of the party, the Christmas Eve party.
Christmas Adam.
Yes, the Christmas Adam party. Where we would just hang out, and we would, there'd be a big dinner, and we'd have Christmas cookies, and we'd play like Super Smash Brothers and stuff. And we'd play Rock Band. I think every year we played Rock Band for the past like 5 years.
Yeah, for sure. As one does.
Right. And then Christmas Eve, we would do Christmas at my mom's parents' house. And we would, all the aunts and uncles would give everybody one gift. And it was a good time. Every year I would get a box of cookies from my Aunt Teresa because they had these cookies in New York called Linden's Cookies.
Oh, I know.
And
I know.
And, because I would bring them to lunch every day.
I looked forward to you coming back with those.
Yeah, they were so good. They're like, for those of you who don't know, they're these really delicious cookies. You can probably get them in more places than just this area of New York.
Not like all over the place. Because I was on tour in the Northeast recently, and I found them in New York, Massachusetts, and Connecticut, and that was it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, they're these
at like gas stations though. But
it looks like a pack of like a normal sized bag of chip, not like normal size, but like a small bag of chips that you'd have in like your lunch, and then it's got 3 big cookies in it, and they're very, very good.
Yeah, they're just famous, but like way better.
Oh, they're way better.
Yeah, no, but it's the same concept. It's like cookies in a little foil package.
Yeah. So that was always fun. But Christmas there was about the kids, and it lasted about 30 minutes, like the gift opening process. Right. It was really quick. And then we had like a big dinner with wine, and everybody would bring craft beer, and it was a good time. At least when we were old enough, of course.
When you're 12 drinking craft beers.
No, when I was 12, we were all Santa's helpers and we were passing out gifts.
And when you were 12, craft beer didn't really exist.
Correct.
Your parents were standing around drinking Jenny Creams.
Correct. And then, so then the day after, we would drive from Poughkeepsie, New York, which is about an hour outside the city, to upstate New York. Upstate. About an hour, maybe 2 hours out of Albany.
And Fishkill, right?
No, that's near Poughkeepsie. This is in Salisbury.
Salisbury, okay. I got them mixed up.
Yeah. Fishkill's in the Poughkeepsie area.
Yeah. It's all upstate.
Don't you know your New York townships?
Usually. I do know them pretty well. My father's from Queens. I do know them pretty well. I know off the top of my head. What'd your parents call Oswego? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oswego.
No, my parents went to Plattsburgh.
Plattsburgh.
Yep. Anyway, so then we'd go up and we'd just go to this little town in upstate New York. My dad's parents lived on this little farm called Apple Spring Farm, I think. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be so embarrassed if I mess that up.
I mean, I didn't know you had like a plantation with a name.
No, it's just a farm. It's probably I don't know how big an acre is, but it's not as big as like it was not like an industrial sized farm.
I mean, you probably live on like a half acre.
I live on like a third acre.
Your folks.
My parents live on a half acre.
Yeah.
So this was like probably I don't even want to quote it because I know my dad will correct me. But so we go up there, and there the gift giving process was much less about Christmas lists and stuff like that. And we'd wake up, we'd do a huge breakfast, bacon and eggs, sourdough Santa, which is just Santa made of sourdough. There would be breakfast casseroles and like English muffin bread, and it's just all this super good stuff. It was like a country home cooked breakfast, if you know what I mean. This is the best breakfast all year. And then we would do the gift giving process, and up there you'd only get you get great gifts, extremely thoughtful gifts, but it wasn't like a Christmas list kind of gift. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was like, I used to knock on my grandmother's door and she would always call me the Fuller Brush Man because there was like a traveling salesman in that town forever ago who sold Fuller brushes.
Yeah.
So one year for Christmas, she got me a Fuller brush.
Oh, see, that's cool. Yeah. It's
right.
like,
so
I thought of you and bought you this thing type of gifts, which are, when I was a kid, it was less cool because I was like, I want the stuff I want. But then now I'm like, wow, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
it's so amazing that you even ever thought
this
of me.
Thing. Like forever.
Yeah. So it was always stuff like that. And
sure.
that process would take hours.
Yeah.
I mean, probably 7-8 hours because every gift before you open it, you wouldn't believe it. Back in April, I was at this festival and I saw this thing and I thought of you. And it was an amazing experience.
There's a whole short story about it. Like,
right.
You compile the whole thing into a book and,
Right. And that's always the good experience. And
then
we would, depending upon the weather, we would drive home to Virginia either on the 26th or the 27th.
Gotcha. Okay, so what are you guys doing this year, though? Like, what's different? I know you did your tree lighting already at your parents' house.
Tree lighting is 12:05 day. My parents and Jonathan and Beth all got engaged, obviously, many years apart, on December 5th. And that was also the anniversary of my parents' first date. And it was the day they decorated the tree when they got engaged. And since then, we've decorated the tree every single year on that day. So we put the tree up, we do the lights, and then, it's just like a nice family celebration.
That's so cool.
It's a very big deal for us.
So did Jonathan and Beth get engaged at the tree lighting?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never been like sure about that.
Yeah. It's weird that you call it a tree lighting because it's decorating the tree. The tree's usually already lit by the time.
Okay, whatever. It's the grand illumination.
Yeah.
It's the big thing. Whatever. I don't know. There's no. Okay, big cities don't have tree decoratings. They don't just let every citizen come and like throw a ball at it. It's the tree lighting. It's like I don't know. It's just a thing. It's what I've always called it.
Right, and I get it. It's just like it's an interesting way of thinking of it. And the ornaments are all like our kindergarten ornaments.
Right, exactly.
And I probably put like 15 ornaments from Christopher Newport up there because when I was in college every year I would get my parents to see a new ornament and be like, I don't know if I ever got them one.
Right, and you forget.
And I would end up getting and then we have like a ton of them now.
Right. That's super cool though. That's awesome. That's such a great tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a super cool tradition.
And then, so this year, we're going to fly back from Mexico into D.C., which is where Emily's from. And then we're going to go do Christmas at her house where everybody wears pajamas. And this is a big Christmas celebration. And it's kind of a mixture of all the different things I talked about already in terms of like the actual gift-giving ceremony.
Right, because there's little kids and there's grown-ups and grown-ups and then like parents, like grandparents.
Right, and the one thing, if you are a young listener to this show, I want to encourage you is to interact with young adults as much as you can. Not in like don't date young adults. That's weird. But like But like that's like the lost generation to kids,
right?
Because it's very tough to know what you're supposed to be doing,
right,
from the ages of 21 to like 35, depending upon when you became conscious of your parents' age,
right?
And
Exactly,
what they were doing.
Yeah. Well, and, I mean, even more so for me because like my parents were significantly older when they had me. Mm-hmm. So like my dad was 40.
Oh, wow.
When I was born. So my dad is 40 years older than me. So like for a long time, I had when I turned 20, I was like, I've never experienced anybody like in my life that is 20. It's like I've had very, very limited contact with 20-year-olds.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
It's like I've had older friends become 20, but they became 20 when I was 19. Like it wasn't,
right,
a huge thing. So yeah, like my early 20s were just a whole, I have no idea what's happening. Every day is I mean, it still is. I feel like every single day I'm in over my head, but I have
self-discovery is also an important
so
thing.
many moving parts right now in my life. But like so there's a lot of generations going on in Emily's family. Like Arturo's considerably older than you.
No,
isn't he? He's like 32, something like that.
No, he's I think Jonathan's age.
Is he really? I thought he was in his 30s.
Maybe just barely, but even still, like in my day job, I work with guys who are in their late 30s.
Yeah, I mean for sure, but I don't. But yeah, so like it's like there's just, but that's still it's a whole gap there. It's like you're 25 now, I guess, barely. But like I feel like once you hit 30, it's a whole different
time to buy another sports car.
Oh God. Yeah, your quarter life crisis over here.
Yeah, I already had
I think you're living in your quarter life crisis.
24% crisis. No.
Yeah. So anyway, that's super cool. It's a super cool thing you guys are doing. I'm glad you're kind of melding your Christmases together.
Yeah, and I think this year will be unique because Luke just got here.
Right.
So we'll go up to DC and do that, and we'll be flying in from Mexico, which we're never going to be doing again.
Right. Well,
we'll go up to DC, do that there. Probably not for Christmas.
Are you going to bring her to New York at some point, like a proper?
Yeah. We'll probably do that next
a Mary
summer.
Carlin Christmas.
Yeah.
No, I meant like for the Christmas thing. Like.
Oh yeah. We'll probably do that at some point, but
yeah.
Honestly, I just don't know with Luke being here how it's all going to change.
Right. Right.
Because I know that
you got a new hub now.
Right.
Because there's a new generation.
The Roanoke hub. Yeah.
Because like how much younger is Luke than like do Rachel and Justin have like siblings?
Matt and Ryan.
How young are they?
They're twins. Justin was born in 2000, so they were born in like 2002.
Okay. So yeah, there's a gap there.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Fair enough. That's super cool, man.
I want to know about your Christmas though. We're getting towards the third trimester of our recording. I want to know the traditions.
Yeah, I mean mine's not nearly as extensive because I really only have one side of the family. Like it's my mom's side. Like yeah, I have my uncle John on my dad's side and my uncle Barry on my dad's side, but he lives out in California, so like I see him sparingly. Which is fine. I mean, we talk frequently, but like my Uncle John lives in Roanoke. He's cool. We see him all the time, every holiday. But like, so it's always been my mom's side of the family. So basically, it was we would do, me and my grandmother especially, we would go to midnight mass on Christmas Eve every year. And I mean, when I was younger, we did like the earlier ones, but like after a certain, like once I started turning like 12, we started going to midnight every year. I love midnight mass. It's a great way to like, ring in the holiday. I played for it a couple times in high school, and it helped when I was a kid. It helped make me tired, which was a good thing. Because I was super excited to wake up for Christmas, but I would get up obscenely early when I was a kid, like 4 or 5 o'clock, and my parents would just be like, "Go back to bed, man. What are you doing?" And I would just sit in my room and like lie awake till like 6 or 7, and I would get up and be like, "Hey, can we do presents now? Like this is you're killing me here.
I want the presents."
Yeah, I was such a like bratty little kid.
There is an Xbox shaped box right there.
Oh man, Dad got me with the Xbox, man. When he first got me an Xbox, because he bought it at Sam's, and it was like a big like multi-pack thing, so it had like extra controllers and stuff, but it was in a big like huge like blister pack container. So I was looking for like an Xbox shaped box. That was the one thing I wanted that year, is I wanted to get an Xbox, and I didn't see an Xbox shaped box, and I was just kind of bummed out. Like you're bummed out on Christmas, like you don't think you're getting the thing you want, like the one thing.
It's crazy how ungrateful you can be as a child.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Your parents just went out and spent anywhere from $20 to $500 to $1,000 on you,
right? Like,
and they did not have to spend,
right? Exactly. And it was just, I mean, as a kid, and I always did very well, I think, at being grateful. There was a couple times where I just like did not show any kind of grace about it whatsoever. But
I'm so bad at receiving gifts. It is.
I've gotten much better as I've grown older.
For my birthday this year, we just talked about my birthday. I was like, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so bad at receiving gifts. And then I opened everything up, and it was stuff that I genuinely wanted, and it was like,
the key,
not that I ever get stuff I don't, but you know what I mean.
The key is just a big dumb smile. You got to do your best to look like every gift you've ever gotten is the most amazing thing ever. Anyway, so I would get up early, and we would do would do presents. You know, it was kind of like it was the one day a year I wore like a bathrobe, I think was Christmas. So I'd get up and I'd have my pajamas on, I'd put like a bathrobe and slippers on, and we would go out, and then there would be, you know, tea and coffee and hot chocolate and everything. We didn't eat.
Wait a minute. You didn't do the thing where like every piece of clothing you got, you put on?
No.
I did that probably till I was 17.
We never did that.
Interesting. Did you get clothes?
Yeah, I got clothes for sure. I mean, I tried them on afterward. But there was the we is like a strong term because like I don't have any brothers or sisters, and we didn't do like presents like that like in front of everybody else. So it was just me, mom, and dad. Mm-hmm. So I was like putting on a show, so they're just staring at me, like watching me open presents by myself. As I was even when I was like 8 years old, I was like, this is kind of awkward, man. Like
where's all my friends?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I hated Christmas break when I was a kid because like I was an only child and all my friends lived across town. And, like I never got to see them, and I'm like, this is awesome. But like it's been 3 weeks and like it's just me and mom and dad. Like
getting a little stir
crazy. I love it. But it used to snow back then in December, which was cool.
It snowed today.
Yeah, that's a surprising thing. That hasn't happened for a couple years.
Today of recording is December 12th. For those curious.
But so we would do presents in my house, you know, super early, and then we would go to breakfast at my grandmother's house, and we would be a whole spread of, you know, bacon, eggs, bread, French toast casserole, sausage casserole, breakfast casserole, every kind of casserole you can imagine. There was like breakfast. But
wait, hold
pies.
on. What kind of bread was Santa made out of?
We didn't have sourdough Santa. That's the first I've ever heard of that, and I feel cheated because I love sourdough bread. That sounds awesome.
Sourdough Santa, like, it's a good time.
My grandmother's house was always like immaculately decorated for Christmas. We had like a Santa's workshop scene going on, and there was like all these like village things. She had a bunch of like houses and stuff, and she has like 1 million elf on the shelves. Yeah. Like a lot of them, like 100.
What?
Everybody has like one, and I just didn't know what they were and just bought a bunch of them. So like every elf in her like decorative scenes is an elf on the shelf.
Does that not horrify you?
No, I mean, they were just elves when I was a kid. Like they weren't elf on the shelves. I didn't know what it was. I had no idea what it was until a couple years ago when I watched The League and it became like popular again.
The old elf on the shelf.
Yeah, so I had no idea what the elf on the shelf was. No clue. Not one clue whatsoever. But we would do presents at my grandma's house. We'd do breakfast, and it was the same kind of thing. Like that was where I got presents for my grandparents, my aunts and uncles, and then we all exchanged presents there. And there was, you know, probably 10, 11 people there. And then we would go over to my Aunt Susan's house for Christmas dinner afterward. It was at my Aunt Susan and my Uncle David's house, and there was like 20 people there, maybe like 25 people there.
Interesting. This is like, these are names, I've been friends with you for like 15 years, and these are names I've never heard.
Well, a lot of them have died.
Oh.
Like Aunt Susan tragically passed on very young, so did her son Bobby just this year, actually. So we haven't done Aunt Susan's house in probably 5 or 6 years after she started getting sick. And her mom used to live there, Aunt Jane Ann, lived in like the in-law suite there, so she's passed on. My Uncle Ned's passed on. I've had like a lot of not even necessarily premature, but just a lot of death in the family just because my family is older.
I'm sorry to hear that, but I didn't even know.
No, it's all good. I mean, it's nothing that's ever like really gotten to me necessarily. And I guess my family on my mom's side has always been something I'm kind of like private about. I don't know why. Tell you the truth, it's not like I'm not proud of them. It's just like, I don't know. Nobody ever really asked.
I think it's because you didn't share.
I mean, it's entirely true. But like nobody ever like it was I don't know. And I'm not trying to get all sad here, but it's like you and Chris were much more outgoing people than I was, and then you kind of just dominated the conversation, and I didn't feel like I needed to share anything. So it wasn't like I was hiding anything from you, but it's like I just did my thing and kind of moved along with my life.
Well, I think it's so crazy what kids don't know to ask.
Right. It's like, yeah, I'm not blaming you guys for any means. It was like I just wanted to hear everybody's cool story. It's like and by that point, lunch period was over, and I'd forgotten about like myself, talking about myself. And by December, whatever day we went back, or January, whatever day we went back to school, like the second day after, Christmas is gone, man. It's over.
Oh, it's so over.
Yeah.
I tell you, as we wrap up, my least favorite thing about Christmas is that it's over on December 26th.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I think.
Well, see, it was never over for me on December 26th. Like we got our Christmas tree late, right? So we're not the kind of people to pull it down December 26th. Like mom,
we don't either.
Mom leaves it up until the Epiphany,
which is just January 6th?
January 6th, I think. And
12 days of Christmas.
Yeah. So we never put the wise men in the manger scene until the Epiphany. So that would stay up days after that. We basically left the Christmas tree up until it died.
Huh.
Essentially. So we had the Christmas tree like well into January sometimes.
It's a live tree though, right?
Yeah, no. We never had a fake tree. The first time I ever had a fake tree in the house was when we were in college.
That tree sucked.
Yeah, never had it. That tree's in my girlfriend's house now.
Nice.
Because I really don't have room for a Christmas tree in my apartment just based on the way it's laid out and all the furniture I have. It's like I'd have to like put something somewhere else. So I just didn't get one. And I'm never here anyway. So, But yeah, so
well, anyway, okay.
Oh, sorry. I mean, I know we're short on time. I just got one last thing.
Yeah.
So, and I guess the tradition I've made recently is, so my girlfriend Katie and I started dating at Christmas. Like, I asked her to be my girlfriend like at Christmastown at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Yeah, Busch Gardens in Williamsburg. They do like a big thing. There's like 8 million lights. It's awesome. It's a really cool thing we do, and so we're planning to go every year until it becomes unreasonable, like if we live out of state or whatever, but just as kind of like a tradition there. So that's the kind of new tradition we built together. Unfortunately, we will not be getting to spend Christmas together, I don't think.
But you'll be at the Mary Carlin Christmas.
Yeah, like a week beforehand. But I'm gonna go home to Roanoke. She's gonna go back to her parents' house. Her grandparents will be there for her graduation and some other stuff there. So I might go up there for like a day to kind of get to meet them and spend Christmas a little bit with them. But it's like I have very limited time for Christmas, and I want to make sure I get to see my family, like my family.
Right.
So we're not quite at the point where we can like share that life yet, which is kind of sad. And she'll probably be in Chicago next year for Christmas, so we'll see how that goes. But
maybe you will be too.
Maybe. I mean, it would be cool, but it would be the first time I've ever like spent Christmas away from my family, so that'd be kind of weird.
I did it last year for the first time, and it was a very pleasant experience.
You guys were in Florida, right? Like that was. Am I misremembering
that? For New Year's we were. Okay. We were in DC for
hey, we did New Year's at the beach one time. That was cool.
Yeah, we did. We watched Harry Potter.
Oh my god, that was like I still look back on that as being one of the best weeks of my life.
Then we got very, very intoxicated.
Much eggnog.
Much eggnog. Anyway, guys, we just wanted to give this to you as a little Christmas present if you needed something to listen to, or if you got some downtime on Christmas, maybe you got a new iPad and you're looking for something to listen to, but who knows. Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
Happy all the holidays, Happy New Year. We're probably not going to be doing an episode for New Year's, but we'll do an episode shortly after New Year's.
Yeah, so if you need anything, Ethan and I will be active in the Facebook group, I believe starting this day again. Of course, I'll be on my honeymoon for a while. Ethan should be available.
Yeah, I'll be available the whole time.
During that time.
But you'll be done with your honeymoon by the time this comes out.
Yes.
You'll be back, and we'll see you on Thursday, December 28th. It's like 3 days from now.
Yep.
So
weird.
Y'all have a great Christmas. If you're listening to this not on Christmas, have a great whatever day it is. Okay, and until next Christmas, arrivederci.
A Merry Carlin Christmas. It's not like you came to me and you were like, hey, I know you were talking about getting another spray tan.
Hey, Tyler, I think that's a really terrible idea. You should probably rethink that. You pale